Hello everyone, welcome back to another ASMR video. I hope you guys are doing well today. What we've got planned for today is, it's another rainy day outside. It's the latest in a series of a lot of rainy days that we've had over the course of the summer and early fall. I'm looking out my window right now. I can see the rain dripping off the bushes. But since it's a nice rainy day, I figured it would be a good time to do something inside and kind of circle back and doing something a little bit more simple. So that's what we're going to do today. To my right, I have a stack of books that I'm going to be doing some tapping on. I'm going to be talking a little bit about what they are and kind of hoping you guys can kind of relax, maybe do a bit of tracing as well. So that's what we're gonna do. Reading is something that I have recently gotten back into. Being in college and in school for so many years, you feel like you're reading all the time, and so you don't really want to read for pleasure anymore because you're just doing so much reading for class and for all the things that they have you do. But since I've been out for a little bit, I've decided to pick it back up, and I've really enjoyed reading for pleasure again. Some of my friends are big readers, and it's nice to kind of get back into that and pick up something that I used to enjoy to do for fun. It's a good way to relax also at the end of the day. So I've got 3 books over here. They're all hardcover. I think hardcovers are the best for doing these types of videos. I just think the sounds are nicer. And, if I can get hardcover for a good price, it's typically what I'll go for. I like the feel better. But these books are all kind of globally focused. These are all take place in different countries around the world and talk about issues that are kind of specific to different areas of the world and different problems that countries face. I'm a big fan of nonfiction books. There's definitely a place and time for fiction and immersing yourself in a different type of story, but for me, I really resonate with nonfiction. So I guess we're just gonna get into this. Take the first book off the top, and some of these books you probably, I would doubt if many people have heard of them. If you have read them, definitely leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of them. But I would recommend all of these books personally, and I would encourage you to read them. And I'll put the titles of the books and where you can get them in the description as well, if you were interested in taking a gander. So the first book we have is this book right here. This is called Sabers and Utopias. It's by a very famous Latin American author, Mario Vargas Llosa. He's from Peru. And this is really not a book with a specific plot line. This talks about, I'll do a little bit of sounds here. This book's not really doesn't have a specific plot line. It talks mostly about, it's a collection of essays that he wrote over the years. And this guy wrote for quite a long time. He had a number of political positions in Peru and around the world. And he was often very critical of the governments of Latin America during their post-colonial times. And like I said, this book is a collection of essays, and as you can see right here, this was originally written in Spanish, but this book is all of the essays translated into English. Personally, I speak a pretty good deal of Spanish, but definitely stuff gets lost in translation in translated volumes. So even though this is the English version, there's stuff that might get a little lost in translation, but I could not find the Spanish version. But it's still a very interesting book. So if you want to learn about Latin America, he covers the governments of Peru, post-dictatorship Chile, post-dictatorship Argentina, a lot of the countries in Central America, Mexico being one of them, the complex political systems that they have. Cuba talks a lot about Castro. So he covers a whole wide range of it. And originally what drew me to this book was not the description, but a lot of times I'm suckers for covers. I've done a lot of graphic design work in my time, and I don't know, books that have a good cover really strike a chord with me. It really draws me in. And sometimes that can be to a fault, and other times it can be great. But as you can see the cover here, it is a sword right through here, and it goes up, and it forms the trunk of a palm tree. And as you can see here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 palm tree leaves. And at first I thought that that might be symbolic, but it's literally not. It's just a design choice. So yeah, the cover of this initially drew me in. I liked the idea of the sword going up into the palm tree. Kind of talks about conquest, and then kind of goes into like the splinter groups of the different countries that evolved from that colonial rule. And then on the back, there's all this different praise for the book from different authors. And how long is this book? I can't remember. This took me a while to read. This is written in a very, like 275 pages. This book's written in a really unique style. Sometimes I feel like he can be a little bit too rambly, and there are a lot of what I would consider run-on sentences in this book. But the content that he talks about is extremely important, and it's, I think, gives a good grasp of kind of what the struggles were like for a lot of these countries post-independence. So, if you would like to read this at some point, I would recommend it. And yeah, I'm going to go to the next one. So this next one, the cover really brought me in to this one. This is called Ottoman Odyssey by L.F. Scott. And this book talks about, as you can see, there's this really nice design on the front cover. Very Middle Eastern design. And then you've got your mosque right here. And this book talks about the post-Ottoman Empire and kind of how that has evolved over time. Aleph Scott is Turkish, Well, she's actually banned from going into the country of Turkey because of her criticism of the current presidency, if you want to call it a presidency. I don't know how many of you people, how many of you guys are aware of Turkey's current politics, but I don't really want to talk about that here. But anyway, it talks kind of about the fall of the Ottoman Empire and kind of how its influences are still felt today in a lot of the surrounding countries, not just Turkey, but a lot of the countries such as, it talks about Israel, talks about Palestine, Lebanon. I think Armenia's in here as well. Greece is a big one. Cyprus. And then a lot of the current Baltic states. Serbia's one. Kosovo's another one. So, and it does say here, travels through a lost empire. It really is, there's a lot of travels in this book. Almost every chapter takes place in a different country. And I find that very interesting. Because you can kind of learn that a lot of these countries are not so black and white as their borders would like to make out. And I think that's very important to kind of recognize with a lot of these places, and even just a lot of countries around the world. I mean, you look at Africa, and that's another example, that it's not so cut and dry as people would like to make people would make it out to be. But yeah, this book, on the back, kind of the design continues on the back, kind of around. I'll get better at my tracing over time. That was harder than I thought. But it basically talks about all the praise on the back, like most books do. And you know, this is just it's a very insightful book. I enjoyed reading this one. Just the colors of this book, you get a nice red color next to the author font. And yeah, kind of this is, you know, kind of what it looks like. So yeah, that's that one. And then the final book that I wanted to show you guys is actually one that I just picked up the other day. I'm really excited to read it. There's this bookstore that's within like about 15-20 minutes away from where I live, that sells all these books that you don't really see a lot of places, although there are a lot of very like niche books, and I like that. I sound like such a hipster right now, but I promise you I'm not. This book's called Everest by Mick Conifrey. I never read any books by him before. Everest. Everest. And obviously that talks about Mount Everest. Talks about the first expedition up Mount Everest, which happened in 1922. Yeah, it says right here, the epic story of the first attempt on the world's highest mountain. And you can see a bunch of hikers here, and you know, going back over 100 years, I can't imagine what that must have been like to try and chart Everest with some of the basic tools that they had. And This author writes a lot about mountain climbing books. He has another book called Ghosts of K2, which is another mountain in the Himalayas. And it's one of the most dangerous mountains to climb in the world, for sure. I am no mountain climber, and you're not going to find me climbing in the Himalayas, but I do like to hike in the surrounding, I would call them hills if you compare them to the Himalayas. A couple of 1,000 feet is probably my cap. That's probably where I'm stopping. But again, you can kind of see down the side, Everest, 1922, McConaughey. And then it talks about, again, praise on the back. It actually has praise for Ghosts of K2 as well. If this book's any good, I will definitely check that out. I got this book on sale, which was great. I thought it was a fantastic deal. The bookstore that I like going to has a sale section with all hardcover books, and I love that. It's really cool. And do a little bit of tapping on the front here. Something I do quite often with hardcover books is I end up taking the cover off when I'm reading, just because I don't know why it like engages my OCD when like the cover shifts a little bit. I feel like I have to immediately put it back. But yeah, so I've got a little bit of an about section. You can hear the crackling of the spine. And one thing I like about these 3 books too is they all have maps in them, and I'm a huge map person. I love geography. I'll put that to the side. But I love geography. If there's ever a chance on this channel, I would love to do some get out some old maps and maybe do some tracing, or maybe follow down certain routes or certain paths. I think that would be really cool. But I think I'm gonna wrap it up there. I don't want to make this video too long. I thought the last video that I made, and I appreciate everybody who's watched that so far. I thought the last video went on a little bit too long, so I'd like to get this under 20 minutes. So, yeah, for the next video, I'm planning on, like I said in my first video, I'm planning on going out to the Berkshires very soon. That's going to be really nice. I'm looking forward to that quite a bit. And in the meantime, I might do a couple more local trails, and see where that goes. So yeah, and I'll do more videos like this as well if it keeps raining. And it definitely is going to keep raining. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed that, I would appreciate if you hit the like button. I would love for you guys to subscribe. I'm really hoping that you guys enjoyed these videos, and I can give you kind of a sense of relaxation. So yeah, that's all I've got for today, and yeah, just take care of yourself, guys. It's very important, and I'll see you next time.